Morning. What is up, YouTube? And welcome back to my crypto journey live stream here on our favorite day of the week, which is Hump Day, baby. Who we humping? Actually, happy post Valentine's Day. Hopefully, you guys don't have any surprises in about 8 weeks or something like that. How long does it take to know? I don't know, about 8 weeks. Maybe some of you'll be fathers and mothers in about 9 months. Hope you had a fantastic Valentine's Day. Do me a favor, smash that like button, and let's get started. Of course, if you're new to the channel, we do start the news at the 5-minute mark. So if you're watching this a little later, go ahead and jump ahead because we got to say what's up to our chat. But first, we got to give a shout out to our sponsors. First of all, shout out to Volt Enu, guys. Volt is going to be sponsoring, of course, hashtag ad. Of course, hashtag these products are sponsoring me, obviously, right? But Volt Enu is going to be giving away a ton of money in our Twitter live spaces for the crypto hour. So, of course, we have one today at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's going to be Volted stream. Go ahead and check that out, guys. Of course, links to my Twitter is in the description down below. So that's pretty awesome from them. Of course, we have MetaMonkey still here, extending the keys to the city party. And then we have Pomeranian, of course, starting their own really true decentralized blockchain. And of course, we have Cookies Protocol. Links to everything in the description down below. What's up, babies? It's good to see y'all in here. Give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and set up the YouTube stream here. And we have some decent news today, guys. It's pretty much a non-news day in cryptocurrency. There's not much going on, but there are some interesting stories and some things that kind of build on top of what's been happening the last week in cryptocurrency, especially when it comes to regulations, rules, and those sorts of things with the SEC. And then, of course, talking about inflation, which, a lot of people were wondering, like, are we going to see some negative price action because of the inflation data, which was not good, but we perceived it as good, right? That's what we've been perceiving it as. So, it depends what you think, of what's going on, but it seems like inflation's getting harder and harder to fight, which does affect the cryptocurrency markets right now. Historically, no, but right now. Give me 1 second. Let me go to viewer activity and make sure I have everything ready to rock, because I can't really see if you guys do like, unfortunately, when I use StreamYard for the cryptocurrency, my stream, obviously, I can't see exactly what's going on. I can't see when you guys do like membership, like celebrations, like a 1 month, 2 month anniversary. I can't see when you guys gift memberships or anything. So I'm going to make sure I have that set up on YouTube as well. But yeah, do me a favor, smash the like button. And what's up to y'all? How y'all doing? What's up? We have Mizzy Matt in the chat. What's up, baby? I saw your picture on Instagram. Guys, and if you're not following me on Instagram, links to my Instagram is in the description down below. It's more of a personal, like, kind of look into my life. So more of a personal side, less cryptocurrency stuff. So if you guys want to hang out over there, slide in my DMs over there. I always welcome that. What's up, Javi? How you doing, baby? Javi, it's good to see you on Twitter finally. Glad I can convince you. We have Jayhawk. What's up, baby? How you doing, Jayhawk? Spencer James, Andrew for all, Doc Hughes. What's up, baby? Got the Volta Dragon right there. Lawrence, what's up, baby? Volt fam in the house. Let's go. Let's go. Volt giving me really good early, like, Saitama vibes. What's up, Sirens? How you doing? Richard is balling. Maddie B. Edgar, what's up, baby? Doing I'm having a pretty big leg day today, Edgar. So thought you like that. What's up, Sacco Hunt? Still need to try some of the world's best tuna. What's up, Bud? What's up, Mike? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Paul, Baron. What's up, Baron Stooks? Joan Karu, how you doing, baby? B Volted, got the Volted fam in the house. I funked her first. What's up, baby? How you doing? One of our newest degenerates. Daniel, welcome. Gabe, Ben, Brian, two Brians, Brian Dowie, Brian Oakley. Who is the real Brian? There must be one Brian to rule them all. Hey, what's up, Hemi? How you doing? Irish Mike. You want to do a Volted Dragon? I'm down with that, Be Volted. Maybe we could do something like that. There's going to be a Volted live stream at 9. I'll probably be popping in there around 9:30. I got to finish some stuff around my place real quick. But what's up, DJ? How you doing, baby? May you be well. How you doing? Soli, good morning. Chevy fan. Crypto High. Slim Jesus. What's up, David? How you doing? Merch Runners. Good morning. I don't know. What's up, Marty? How you doing? I don't know if you guys saw my breakfast on Twitter, but I had Spam, eggs, and rice this morning. Let me tell you something. Spam is like pure degenerate, right? Degenerate ration food. And like, it's so delicious, right? Spam is like supposed to be like ration food. Like, that shit is so calorically dense. But I can eat a whole can of Spam easy. I don't know about you guys. And that's just like almost your entire daily calorie intake. Heck yeah. L Spar, I think Chris gifted that sub to you, so wasn't me, but hell yeah, man. Glad to have you here. Empty Glue Gun. Dude, how's it going, bro? How's it going? Welcome. Got that Javi coffee this morning. Bacon over Spam. Bacon's good too. But I think they're good in their own way. I like soft bacon. I know a lot of you guys like crispy bacon. You little weirdos out there like crispy bacon. Some people really like crispy bacon, like all burnt. That's not my jam. I gotta have my bacon a little soft. You know what I mean? Not everything needs to be soft, but the bacon needs to be a little soft, a little chewy. You know, I like that. Some of y'all like freaking. I had this one of my good friends growing up. His dad would like it would be burnt. It would disintegrate upon touching it, and he liked it like that. Ugh, you know. All right, let's talk about the entire cryptocurrency market and let's get into the news. Do me a favor, smash that like button before we get started. But let's get started. Okay, so the question is, hey man, is the recession canceled? Why the hell are inflation numbers coming out and then the crypto markets are reacting positively? Now, here's the thing. Yesterday, the actual US markets, the stock markets kind of opened on the red, right? But cryptocurrency markets started to send a little bit. We're in this weird like universe where good news is bad news is good news is good news, bad. It's like nothing makes sense. It's like the Twilight Zone. But think about something. Historically, cryptocurrency has been a hedge against inflation. Now that has changed during the last 2 years or so, right? Because obviously, if you would have invested $10,000 into Bitcoin 2 years ago, right, you would have been better off just holding that $10,000 in your bank account. Because yes, although inflation is high, right, it's still less, it's still less of a drag than cryptocurrency, right? Cryptocurrency has dumped crazy the last 2 years, but that's the cycle of cryptocurrency, right? That's what we do. But lately, cryptocurrency has been following traditional markets, right? When the dollar is strong, traditional markets are strong, are weak, right, and vice versa. And now we're starting to see a little decoupling of the cryptocurrency markets. Now, we did see this about 6 months ago before the FTX collapse. FTX collapse happened, and then like the markets have been kind of following the same kind of trend. Now, people are wondering, hey, man, is the recession canceled? Is crypto going to send? Are we getting ready for the next bull run? It's just hard for us to see that happen. I do truly believe, and let me guys know what you think in the comments down below. I do truly believe that over time, we are during the next month or two, we're going to see some really, really crazy negative price action, and then we're going to absolutely send and recover the rest of the year, right? Barring any crazy situations that happen that could push the cryptocurrency market down. But here's the thing. I mean, we had what recently? We had two major things happen in the cryptocurrency markets recently, and things seem to be okay. And of course, one of those most recently, right, was the fact that Paxos was told they have to stop minting BUSD, which is the stable coin of the biggest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance, that holds 55% of the market share when it comes to trading, right? Then we had the SEC ban staking, right? Of course, Kraken was the recipient of that ban, right? And of course, it's going to happen to probably more US exchanges. Now, recently, the Coinbase CEO did come out and say they will defend cryptocurrency tooth and nail against the SEC and staking and those sorts of things if they try to hit them on their platform, which is probably going to happen. Now, I put this puzzle together yesterday, and I got a little bit of help from other sources, but, this is organically something I saw, and some people are making this connection too. So here's the thing, right, with the whole BUSD thing, right? Because think about it. USDC, right, Circle, backed by BlackRock, was the responsible, right, for filing a complaint against Paxos and BUSD saying, hey, man, these guys aren't really backed what they say they're backed by. And keep in mind, when you're a stablecoin in this cryptocurrency world, you have to make sure that all your stablecoins are backed by assets one-to-one, whether that's cash or cash equivalents or whatever, right? Assets. And USDC is the biggest, it's one of the biggest, it's the second biggest stable coin, right? There's Tether, there's USDC, and there was BUSD. BUSD is still up there, but it's going to fall over time, right? Because they stopped minting it. Okay, so of course, BlackRock also backs Coinbase, right? BlackRock is a huge, right, investment firm, right? That's what they do. They invested in FTX, right? And so one of the people that are investors in BlackRock is Kevin O'Leary. Well, what happened between Kevin O'Leary and CZ, the CEO of Binance, the person who the exchange that has a lot of the reserves in BUSD? Well, they got into it publicly, and Kevin O'Leary blamed CZ for the collapse of FTX. Kevin O'Leary, right, faced a lot of heat because he was supporting SBF after he wrecked a lot of people. Now, in hindsight, that was a terrible move, but he was supporting SBF. In fact, he came out publicly and said, I would still invest in a company that SBF started a new one, right? After, SBF is in trouble for mismanaging funds. Well, we know that, hey, man, maybe this is some huge conspiracy for, another cutthroat business move. Because what CZ did was a cutthroat business move, right? He took out FTX. Although, for a good reason, he still helped take him out, right? Now we have Kevin O'Leary and BlackRock looking to do the same and chip away at Binance. Now, is this going to help? Is this going to take down Binance in the grand scheme of things? No. But is it a start of something? Yeah, it's a start of some FUD, right? Because Kevin O'Leary thinks that CZ is shady. He thinks that he's doing, that he probably has bad business practices. But CZ called Kevin O'Leary a liar, and I think they should just box, right? Let him box, But that's an interesting connection, right? So we have a lot of drama going on right now, and we have a lot of cryptocurrency products vying to be the number one daddy around. Now, I have to be honest, when it comes to stable coins that I trust the most, number one is USDC because of their big backers. I know it might be a conflict of interest, but I care about my money not getting wrecked. And with all the FUD surrounding Tether, I can't really trust Tether too much. Now we know that Q4 of last year, Tether was in profits of $700 million, which is extremely good in a bear market, which is extremely good in light of all the drama in cryptocurrency. So it's like, is that real? I mean, the historic problem with Tether is that they haven't been the best when it comes to reporting their audits and those sorts of things, right? They, no one trusts them. So it's kind of crazy. But yeah, Kevin O'Leary took a lot of L's. But, in light of everything, the cryptocurrency market has recovered. We saw a big dump the other day, and below a $1 trillion market cap, which is our standard. And we're starting to see a slow recovery, right? And it's like, is anything going to bring down? Because those are two big things. Like getting rid of staking and going after one of the biggest stable coins are two huge things. You could call them catastrophes. But the cryptocurrency market said, nah, Now, something funny I want to point out, and a lot of people were talking about this because this really brings good memories to mind. Let me show you. Remember when Elon Musk posted a picture of Doge and stuff like that? During the last bull run, how much SHIB and Doge sent, right? He posted this yesterday, and we saw Dogecoin run. So it says, so we had the Doge, at Twitter headquarters and stuff. I think this is actually his dog. So it's just hilarious, right? But he's great with numbers. Let me go back to that. So pretty funny to see, Elon Musk still trolling, doing his thing as Elon does, What a wacky world that this man's our CEO, but he's obviously capable, right? But crazy. So this is hilarious. So, the power that Elon Musk still has to make somebody there 10% profits, in a blink of an eye, Yes, degens are 100% taking over the crypto world. What's up, Bobby? How you doing? What's up, Morton? Morton says Bittrex, Coinbase, or Binance best place to trade. Honestly, if you're an experienced trader, I would use a platform that's a Binance. Coinbase is kind of Coinbase Pro is good, or whatever they call it, Coinbase One, but depends what you're into. You can get make sure you get one of those services that makes it so you don't have any trading fees. DJ says if JP Morgan was doing something shady and a Bank of America says something about it, did BOA collapse JP? Same here. CZ didn't bring down FTX. He just exactly 100%, DJ. What's funny about JP Morgan and Chase in general? They've flip flopped so much on crypto. Crypto's dead. It's here. Crypto's dead. Now's a great time to buy Bitcoin. There's so much flip flopping going on in the news. But one of the people that we trust when it comes to information about inflation is Clear Value Tech. So we're going to go ahead and watch one of his videos. He just made one on the CPI data. We don't have to watch the whole thing, but let's go ahead and watch some key points in the beginning of the video and see what he has to say. So shout out to our boy at Clear Value Tech, and let's see what he has to say about the situation.
The CPI inflation report for the month of January was released this morning, and it was a disaster. I'm going to tell you everything.
And if you guys don't know, I am in this guy's Patreon. It's very good information, especially if you're into regular stocks too, which I'm starting to branch over. Very, very good information. But a lot of this has to do with cryptocurrency, so it's important that we watch it. Of course, Clear Value Tech, everybody knows him on this channel.
You need to know. Today is Tuesday, February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day. Let's get started. For the month of January, CPI inflation clocked in at 6.4%. 6.4%. It was at 6.5% in December. This means that inflation is coming down at a snail's pace. At this rate, we'll reach the Federal Reserve's target rate of inflation of 2% inflation in 2026. So it looks like the Federal Reserve, they've been taking a premature victory lap. So here's the situation. Month over month, the consumer price index rose by 0.5%. So month over month, inflation is making a comeback. It is accelerating, and it came in above expectations.
Now, this is crazy, right? Absolutely insane. So inflation is going down, but we were actually smashing through inflation since June, right? When we thought inflation peaked. But what we saw in one of the categories, and has to do with just cost of housing, is that went up drastically, which is bad. And we saw a lot of people downplay it, but it's kind of a bad thing, right? And I don't know about you guys, but my rent went up like $200 something. I thought it was $100, but it was $200 something. I'm like, God damn, you know?
The expectation was 0.4%. Year over year, we have CPI at 6.4%. The expectation was that it would fall to 6.2%. Right? So I told you this in my previous video, inflation is going to get stickier in the 5% range. But take a look at what's happening right now. They're having trouble even in the 6% range. So everybody knows I said this. I said that multiple times. So imagine how bad it's going to be when we get in the 5% range. So inflation from 6.5% in December to 6.4%. Yeah, okay, that's progress. But again, that is at a snail's pace, 0.1%.
Snail's pace.
So my concerns, which I clearly relate to everyone, they are playing out. The low-hanging fruit, it's already been picked to bring down inflation, energy prices, and supply chain disruptions. So energy prices have bottomed, and goods inflation that has already come down significantly. The supply.
You know what's been crazy, guys? Have you been watching the news of like all the supply chain issues that may be coming? Like, what's up with that? You guys been seeing like we've had some crazy news lately. Like a lot of it, like the UFO thing's been crazy. The chemical spillings have been crazy, and like these trains crashing and stuff like that with like food, and like we're hearing stuff about like it's just kind of crazy, right? Like the news has been nuts. Like I usually don't pay attention to the news, but it's gotten to a point where it's like starting to be thrown in my face, right? It's crazy. It's crazy. 100% DJ, 100%. What's up, Waddy?
So you've picked the low-hanging fruits, and that gives, it's obviously going to give you the biggest bang for the buck. And now you're going to have inflation become stickier. Core inflation climbed to 5.6%. So here's a breakdown of year-over-year stats. Energy prices are up 8.7%. Services, excluding housing, up 8%. Shelter, up 7.9%. Food is up 10.1%.
Jesus.
So let's break down these categories.
Eggs.
One by one.
Eggs.
Starting with,
and I don't know about you guys, but let me know in the comments. Have you guys been like going to get groceries and food be expensive? I went into the grocery store last night and I bought like dinner for tonight. I'm gonna make some salmon. So one of my favorite dinners I go to is I cook salmon with lemon, garlic, and butter, and a little bit of onion, and of course salt. And then I make some yams. Like I just steam them real quick, and then make like a yam like mashed potato and an avocado. And I bought a few other things like with some eggs. I'm like, dude, it was expensive. I'm like, I just bought a few things. You know what I mean? It's like it's getting crazy, right? It's getting crazy out there.
With food, an inflation rate of 10.1%. That's very troubling for everyday Americans. So how is Jerome Powell? I mean, I don't understand how Jerome Powell is just going to sit there and claim victory over inflation when you have food prices that are inflating by 10.1%.
Crazy.
So here are all the year-over-year stats. The price of fruits and vegetables are up 7.2%. Milk up 11%. Coffee up 12.8%. Bread up 14.9%. Butter up 26.3%. Eggs up 70.1%.
70?
Moving on to energy.
70% for eggs. That's crazy.
Energy prices are up 8.7% year over year. Year over year, the price of electricity is up 11.9%. Utility gas service is up 26.7%. So you probably noticed gasoline prices, they've been increasing over the past month. But I'm just telling you, wait until their reopening picks up full steam. That's inevitable. And then you're going to see gasoline prices go up even more. Oil prices will go higher, and the gasoline prices, obviously, they're going to go up as well as a consequence. Obviously, that's going to make the fight against inflation even more difficult.
Hey, Steven.
Now let's look at Shelter. Shelter's up 7.9% year over year. This accelerated from 7.5% in December. So it's moving in the wrong direction. Obviously, this is not good. Month over month, the Shelter index rose by 0.7%. Here, I mean, there's nothing good to say here. Going to services, excluding housing, up 8%. So this one is extremely important. Is probably the biggest category that the Federal Reserve is paying attention to. We're talking about the labor markets. The Federal Reserve has been concerned for quite some time that the labor market is overheating and that the supply-demand imbalance for workers is going to be problematic because of wage inflation. So we saw big job gains in January. It was actually 8 standard deviations more than expected.
That's huge.
To me, that was incredible in the most literal sense. That's all I'm going to say. We're going to save this topic for a separate video. Now, let me tell you about inflation expectations. So this is what the general public expects. So expectations are very important because that's going to influence behavior, and that's going to influence demand, and that's going to have consequences on the rate of inflation. So according to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York microeconomic data for January, people still have the expectation that the rate of inflation will continue to decline in the short run. Please don't misunderstand what I'm saying here. People still expect prices to go up, but just at a slower pace. In the long run, people expect inflation to be an ongoing issue. So this is different compared to how inflation was basically non-existent pre-pandemic in the last decade. When it comes to the labor markets,
isn't that crazy that there was like pretty much no inflation obviously, right, pre-pandemic, like that wasn't an issue. And I remember the main topic of discussion was should we be printing all this money, and it's not just the money printing that was the issue. It was just a lot of people getting money for just kind of kicking it, right? And which is crazy. And we thought it would be what they call it transitory, right? But it wasn't, right? We're suffering because of it now, which makes sense. I mean, it was a unique time, and we had to do to figure things out. But it's kind of crazy that we're really suffering from this now. We're really suffering from this now.
41% of people believe that unemployment will be higher 12 months from now. This edged up about 1% from December. The results were skewed for people with a college education and annual household income greater than $100,000. So basically, white-collared people are afraid that they're going to be at a higher risk of losing their job.
Now, this is interesting here coming up.
When looking at household finances, this report shows that households are expecting that their spending will slow down in 2023.
Now, I know that a lot of people are still spending money on things, right? And listen to what he has to say next, because this is very interesting, and I could definitely see this with a lot of people I know.
So it's been falling sharply over the past few months. Median household spending growth expectations fell from 6.9% in November to 5.9% in December, and it fell even further to 5.7% in January. So this decline, it was across all age groups and income levels. Now, let me give you a status update on the U.S. consumer because the data points are showing more weakness. It's degrading. Americans are now relying more and more on their credit cards just to make ends meet. We're talking about more people charging on their credit card to pay for day-to-day living expenses. But additionally, I mean, this is no surprise, people love to spend money. The average American will spend $192 on Valentine's Day for flowers, gifts, candy, cards, for significant others,
That's the average American. Let me know in the comments down below. How much did you guys spend for Valentine's Day, if you had a Valentine's?
Workers, for classmates.
Let's just say I spent a lot more. Well, long story, right? But long story. I'm having someone visit me from another state. So, big boy make big boy moves, you know what I mean? But let me know how much you spent.
Mates, etc.
0.
According to a report by LendingTree, this year, 27% of people will rely on their credit cards to cover the cost of Valentine's Day expenses. And for most people, it's going to take about 2 months for them to pay it off. A report by Wallet Hub says that 1 out of 5 Americans feel that buying a Valentine's Day gift is worth the credit card debt. So listen, the situation with this credit
You know what's interesting about the psychology of that? It's always easier to spend money on other people, especially if you're an agreeable person, and it's always harder to spend money on yourself. Like for example, if you're looking at an item that's $50 and it's for yourself, you'd be like, "Yeah, I don't need that." But if it's for like a loved one, you'd be like, "Yeah, I could spend $50 on that." I mean, it's weird how we care more about other people. That's how a lot of people are. They'll do it for other people. Especially your loved ones.
Credit card debt, it's not good because, as you know, interest rates are going up. That's because the Federal Reserve continues to raise interest rates. And the thing is that they're not done yet. They're going to raise interest rates even further in March. Bankrate says that 35% of American adults carry a credit card balance month to month. So this is up from 29% last year.
That's crazy.
So what that stat, that's based on all adults. When you're talking about Americans that have credit cards, 46% of card holders carry a balance month to month. So this is up from 39% last year. So just think about it. That's almost half of everybody that has a credit card. Obviously, it's not like people enjoy having a credit card balance. We're seeing the percentages go up because inflation is going up faster than wage growth. This is what the governmental reports are showing. So listen, most people, they get into credit card debts because of an emergency. It's usually related to your car or your health or your home.
True.
But now, the reports are showing this. The stats are showing that more people they're falling into credit card debts because they simply can't keep up with day-to-day living expenses.
Now, let me know if that applies to you in the chat. Now, this is hilarious. Chrissy is the cheapest MFer in this chat. And this guy said, I ordered a $300 catering package for Valentine's, and same-day flower delivery cost a fortune. Jesus. So this is at least you went all out for Thanksgiving, for Valentine's Day. That's awesome, bro. That's awesome. Yeah, but very, very interesting, right? It's like a lot of people are using their credit card for day-to-day expenses, not even like emergencies. It's day-to-day expenses.
A Gallup poll released last week shows that 50% of respondents described their personal financial situation as worse compared to a year ago. So this is the highest percentage since 2009. Now, let me give you the forecast information for 2023. This is coming from the survey that the Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia conducted. The survey, it asked leaders at all over the place, leaders of banks, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, etc., economists at universities, Berkeley to Johns Hopkins University, ratings agencies, analytics firms, etc. And here are their predictions on GDP, unemployment, and inflation. The consensus is no recession in 2023. They're saying GDP growth of 0.6% in Q1. So that's January, February, March of this year. In Q2, they're saying GDP growth of 1%. They revised their expectations upwards because last year they were saying that in Q1 and Q2 of this year, GDP would grow at 0.2%. They're saying that real GDP will grow by 1.3% in the entirety of 2023. So those are some pretty strong numbers. So there's clearly a lot of optimism regarding the economy in 2023. When it comes to unemployment, the consensus is that unemployment will increase to 4.1% by the end of this year. So this is a huge improvement because previously they were saying that it would go up to 4.4%. For inflation, they're predicting that for 2023, from 2023 this year to 2032, the next 10 years, the inflation will average 2.3%. So the expectation is no recession, soft landing, low unemployment, and low inflation. Now, the Federal Reserve members and bank presidents, they are showing, I would describe it as cautious optimism. So Philadelphia Fed Bank President Patrick Harker said, and I quote, "We are actually increasing the odds that we get a soft landing. That doesn't mean we're out of the woods. It's still possible, but I think we can avoid a recession by being prudent." Federal Reserve Governor Michelle Bowman said that a strong labor market with moderating inflation means that a soft landing is possible. So listen, the January jobs report, it came in way above expectations. 517,000 jobs created that month. Inflation, yes, it's coming down from its peak of 9.1% in June. So the question is the trajectory of this inflation as it affects GDP and unemployment. So the question is, are we going to get a soft landing? I mean, we'll find out soon enough, but that's why it's so important to pay attention to these monthly reports, the CPI reports, the monthly unemployment reports, as well as the quarterly GDP stats. So we'll see if we are indeed on track to having a soft landing. So I hope.
So that's pretty much the end of the video, guys. You should really check out his Patreon. It's good information. But a lot of people are saying that, we're not going to go ahead and get a recession, but it's hard to see us not, slipping into some sort of recession. But I mean, these experts always say things, but they're usually wrong. It seems to be that way. Crypto Art, thank you so much for being a super degenerate for 4 months. Thank you so much. That gold eggplant looks oh so nice next to your name. Got to celebrate the monthly one. So congratulations, Crypto Art, 4-month membership. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. All right, so let's check out some of the new cryptocurrency news. So it's important to watch the traditional markets, guys, in the macroeconomic situation, because it's going to tell us a lot about cryptocurrency. And I think going forward, it's going to be coupled with the market. Now, let's check out something that I thought was pretty interesting. So lawmakers and experts debate the SEC's role in crypto regulation. And one of the biggest criticisms, which, you could call it a criticism, you could call it what you want, right? One of the biggest criticisms was, where the hell has the SEC been when it comes to some of these major disasters? Now, remember, the SEC is not responsible to make sure, Sam Bankman-Fried isn't, doing shady things. They're responsible for seeing who's issuing unregistered securities. So let's check this out. So U.S. lawmakers and experts debate SEC's role in crypto regulation. Senator Tim Scott questioned whether the Securities and Exchange Commission have been asleep at the wheel amid major bankruptcies in the crypto space, causing the loss of millions in user funds. And that's billions, not millions, billions. It says, the United States Securities and Exchange Commission and its chair, Gary Gensler, were the targets of many lawmakers and witnesses at a hearing exploring the crash of the crypto market. In a February 14th hearing at the Senate Banking Committee titled Crypto Crash, Why Financial System Safeguards Are Needed for Digital Assets, ranking member Tim Scott said Gensler should appear before Congress before September to address additional enforcement actions in the crypto space, calling out the SEC chair for doing rounds on the morning talk show rather than testifying, right? So he's like, you're more than a celebrity than an actual regulator. According to the South Carolina senator, the SEC had not provided the slightest bit of guidance, potentially leading to the lack of investor protection at bankruptcy firms, including FTX, Terra, BlockFi, Voyager, and Celsius. Here's the thing. The SEC is not responsible for going after every little thing in cryptocurrency, but the issue is there have been no clear rules and regulation. No one knows what the hell is going on. And some of these cryptocurrency products are like, what are you doing? We saw Charles Hoskinson, the CEO of Cardano, saying, there's no clear direction. It's not as easy as signing up on the SEC's website. That's not the case, And that's what a lot of people are saying. Like, what the hell, man? Mr. Scott, my bald brown man, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, that makes sense, Like, Gary, what are we doing? And Gary's on all sorts of news channels and suing everybody, right? Going after staking, going after freaking stable coins. It's like, how the hell, right, is a stable coin a security? It makes zero sense. Let's continue. He says, witnesses testifying at the hearing proposed different approaches for lawmakers seeking to regulate crypto. Duke Financial Economics Center policy advisor Lee Raniers suggested Congress pursue a legislation to carve out cryptocurrency from the Commodity Futures Trading Commission authority and label it as a security under the SEC's exclusive purview. Crypto Council for Innovation Chief Global Regulatory Officer and General Counsel Linda Jiang testified that the lack of consistent federal regulatory framework on crypto contributed to the lack of investor protection and uncertainty amongst firms, saying. So the argument is like, hey, if we had some clear-cut laws, then maybe these cryptocurrency products that are starting up would have to abide by those laws and to be better protection going forward, right? And that does make sense. Quote, the SEC has not initiated any formal rulemaking process to update securities laws and are decades old to account for the unique attributes of digital assets that are determined to be securities. And pretty much what they're saying is, dude, we have these old ass rules, the Howey test, that do not apply to digital currencies. It's a different time. We have to come up with something new. We need clear laws, right? We're suing random entities instead of saying, hey, this is what every cryptocurrency needs to do going forward. They say it's easy as registering with the SEC, but it's not. Obviously, it's not, right? Vanderbilt University law professor Yesha Yadav echoed some of the Jang's concerns on developing a federal framework for crypto, but also proposed a self-regulatory regimen in which exchanges could oversee themselves as a complement to public regulation. Firms that fail to comply with the rules could be forced to pay financial penalties. So what they're saying is that another idea would be to have these exchanges, probably obviously United States exchanges, oversee themselves, follow certain rules and those sorts of things. And then, of course, face penalties if they don't comply. Lastly, it says, in the United States, there is seemingly a regulatory tug of war between many government agencies looking to establish rule on crypto companies. And of course, we see that with the CFTC, right? And we see that with the SEC, because people they want to be the ones regulating crypto, right? That's been the big issue, is who's going to regulate crypto? And obviously, a lot of people like the CFTC a little better. They seem a little less crazy. Gensler has claimed most token products qualifies as security under SEC guidelines and repeatedly called on firms to come in to talk to us. The agency has already taken enforcement action against Kraken and Paxos in 2023. So we're already 2 months in, and they went after two big entities in cryptocurrency. And the crazy thing is, if you understand the history of the of the XRP and SEC situation, this was the case. The SEC was like, hey man, come talk to us. They talked to him. Bam, lawsuit, right? So it's it just seems so sketchy, right? It just seems so sketchy. So it seems like lawmakers and cryptocurrency people are just tired as fuck of the SEC just throwing their weight around and trying to enforce things without any clear rules, right? So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens. But what do you guys think? It's going to be very, very interesting, right? It's funny to see people getting mad about it. Dude, get your shit together, right? It's true. It's so true. There's no clear guidance. It's just it's a he said, she said kind of thing, Now, one thing, well, this is not news. Binance launches crypto MasterCard. This is not news. I hate these little MasterCard things. One thing I do want to point out real quick, two things. One, this is interesting. So Kansas considers $100 limit for individual crypto donations to political campaigns. Why even donate in the first place? First of all, why is this news? Second of all, why just $100 limit for? It's don't even do crypto donations, right? Of course, there are rules being formed around how much crypto you can donate to politicians, right? And we're seeing, so far we've seen Ethereum, Ripple, and Binance donate to the tragedy, of course, in the Turkey-Syria earthquake. So shout out to them. I did read a story this morning, which is kind of based, is that a few people survived on whey protein being trapped under the rubble. So shout out to them for surviving and those sorts of things. Crazy. Now, one of the things that we've been really focusing on, actually, do I not have the story? I don't have that story pulled up. But one thing we've been talking about is the fact that Bitcoin maxis have been kind of excited that all these cryptocurrencies are being taken down, because Bitcoin maxis truly do believe that everything besides Bitcoin is a scam. They think everything besides Bitcoin is a security. They think everything besides Bitcoin isn't truly decentralized and is not really cryptocurrency. Which, if you think about it, there is an argument for that, right? There is an argument for that. A lot of people, think that, hey, Bitcoin is the only true cryptocurrency. It should be the only true cryptocurrency, and that's why it's labeled a commodity, and that's why there's no issues with Bitcoin. Now, the argument is, it's good to see. Right, it's good to see. Oh, here it is. This is the article. My bad. The SEC is taking aim at Paxos, and annoyingly, it's good for Bitcoin. I don't know what that means, but this is one of those stories people just put up to put up. But it's interesting to see that hey, Bitcoin maxis are kind of really celebrating the situation. Now, I watch a guy called Traders University, very, very good channel, but he's a super Bitcoin maxi and hates every other cryptocurrency, and it kind of roasts everybody. But if you think about it, yeah, I mean, the classification from the SEC, it's a no-brainer. They call Bitcoin a commodity, right? And it is. It's a store of value. It's a digital currency, right? Other things in the cryptocurrency space, I think, are securities. It makes sense. I just do, right? Maybe they're not. I don't know, but it seems like they are, right? So this is interesting. So let's read this. It says, let me see what time, 39. It says, chalk up another point for the regulators as the crypto onslaught continues. I hate to make this about Bitcoin, but I will, because in a way, this is about Bitcoin, right? It says the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission reportedly plans to sue crypto firm Paxos for violating investor protection laws because the firm issues and maintains a white labels Binance USD, BUSD. The SEC alleges that BUSD, right, a US dollar stablecoin with Binance branding isn't an unregistered security, which makes no fucking sense. It says, and while it seems bad for BUSD and Paxos, it's good for Bitcoin. Leave it to the Bitcoin maximalists, I guessed. And the cool thing about Bitcoin is, like, unlike, BUSD, like, you can mint it, right? You can't mint it. Like, BUSD, you can keep making more of them. We saw exploits and those sorts of things, right? And that's interesting, right? So it says, never mind if it makes a shred of sense with something with no explanation of profit can be deemed a security, right? Dollar stablecoin and not interest bearing, and they are pegged to the dollar. Now, the thing about this is that it could be interest bearing if you stake it, right? A stable coin could be interest bearing if you stake it. And maybe that is the logic when it comes to the SEC. Like, but if that's the logic, well, then I know that I get interest for just holding USDC in my Coinbase account. So they're not going after USDC. So, it's weird. It says Paxos still decided to stop minting the stablecoin at the direction of the New York Department of Financial Services. Paxos has since said it categorically disagrees with the SEC on the point that BUSD is a security, and it is prepared to vigorously litigate if necessary. Points were also recently awarded to the regulators following crypto exchange Kraken settlement. With the SEC's last week on charges, it was offering unregistered securities through a staking as service platform after a Wyoming-based custodial bank was denied membership to the Federal Reserve System in late January for being risk to the banking system, since it aims to serve crypto clients. Thank you so much, Matthew, for the $5 donation, saying, after all I learned, Bitcoin is the best. And to be honest, guys, right now in this market where things are so uncertain, it's hard to even look at any of these top cryptocurrency projects and not say the safe bet is probably just Bitcoin and Ethereum. Especially like BNB. I love BNB, and I think they're a juggernaut, and they're going to be fine probably. But it's like they just went after BUSD. Like, who knows what's next? No regulation for you, Bitcoin. Says what's missing from the regulators' recent push is anything that represents a direct attack on Bitcoin. Sure, there are warnings of market volatility, and a lot of Bitcoin most used trading pairs features the stablecoin regulators are focused on. But putting Bitcoin in a chokehold isn't a priority. That's mostly because it would be quite difficult to do so. So it's like all this heat is taken off Bitcoin, which we like to see if you're a Bitcoin investor, right? For all the issues Bitcoin's decentralized design presents, there isn't a central company or individual that a government can pinpoint for a targeted regulatory push as it can for stablecoins, right? So there's no company, there's no leader, true decentralization. And that's what crypto is, true decentralization, right? It is. It says, so there's no entity like, Paxos, Circle, or staking providers like Kraken, Coinbase. And for the Bitcoin-related companies or individuals it could pick out and somehow buffet, the network is decentralized enough that it would take the battering in stride. It would take a widespread, highly coordinated, and expensive attack to minimally slow down the Bitcoin network. As such, Bitcoin as a network will be largely inhibited by the regulatory push because it just is. It just exists. And as more people buy it, supply and demand, right? The more scarce it becomes. And that's why a lot of people are predicting Bitcoin to be worth millions of dollars in the future. Now, let me know, what do you guys think Bitcoin's going to be like by 2030 or 2050? I'm hearing crazy predictions. Of course, we heard crazy predictions last bull run, 100K by the end of the year. Oh, crazy. No one should be surprised that regulators are regulating. So, in summary, obviously, guys, no one is surprised that we're seeing this huge push in crypto regulation. No one is surprised that we didn't get Super Bowl ads, right, for crypto. Why? Because of what happened last year. Who's surprised? I'm not surprised, right? This hate on cryptocurrency to me is actually, right, it's actually normal. And I'm like, yeah, well, duh. Smart asses. No one should be satisfied even if you're a Bitcoiner. Safeguards will ensure that new technologies are secure and beneficial to all, and that new digital economy works for many, not just a few. Now, what's interesting to me is seeing the slow shift from a lot of third world countries to like cryptocurrency as a form of currency, right? And something like when you give it to humans, right? When you give the power to humans, when you give people money printers, it seems that when they need to, right? They just print more money. And the crazy thing is that we have a lot of self-control here in the United States. We have a good, just monetary system in general. Like we're good at a lot of things, right? We don't fall under the same traps that a lot of other nations do. It's like when inflation's a problem here, what are we doing right now? We're doing all we can to slow it down. We're not saying, oh yeah, we'll forget about it later down the road. And I feel like that's the case with a lot of other countries, right? But it's interesting to see a lot of other countries using crypto as like their main currency. You know what I mean? And this pretty much talks about that and other things, transparency in the cryptocurrency space. But, the question has always been like, how much regulation is too much regulation, right? How much regulation is too much regulation when it comes to government and those sorts of things? Interesting. Richard asked a very good question. Hey, Rodney, I'm going to buy a ledger for crypto. Can you store all coins on it? Yes. Usually I think all networks are supported. Now, real quick. So I would get a Ledger Nano X. It's $150, not bad. And you can import different networks into it. Watch my video. It's in the description on how to do everything. Now, keep in mind that sometimes when you send crypto from an exchange to your Coinbase or your Ledger, it's wrapped or it's on a different network. Keep that in mind. Like I sent a bunch of Cardano, Uniswap token, and Avalanche from my Coinbase account to my Ledger, and it turns out it's on the Ethereum blockchain, right? So keep that in mind. So if that confuses you, check out my video. But yeah. And what do you guys think about that? What do you guys think? How much regulation is too much regulation? I think the issue is like we're seeing the SEC go after people, but it seems like they're just shotgun approaching everything. They should probably, what's up, Cobra? How you doing, baby? They should probably have clear-cut rules, like work with regulators and lawmakers to make some rules. Like spend the next year figuring it out. Leave us to our own devices for an entire year. Let us be a degenerate, and then hit us with the rules next year, baby. All right, so. Nobody's surprised at this, but of course you have a little bit of an update to the FTX situation. It actually is pretty interesting. BTC. Okay, so check this out. So former FTX executives charity generated $150 million in profits from insider trading. So now we have more insider trading insider trading accusations from another top exchange. Now, of course, we know recently, the last year or so, we had the Coinbase executives who were fired before the story came out, get in trouble for, trading $1.5 million. Now, we have, and it's like, when your CEO is doing shady shit, is anyone surprised? Right? Is anyone surprised that, the rest of the team a lot of the other team is doing shady shit? No. So this is interesting, right? So more insider trading, and a judge bans Sam Bankman-Fried from using VPNs while out on bail. Of course, VPNs help you hide your location and those sorts of things. And obviously, a man who really, first of all, this man should not be allowed to use a computer. Why the hell is he allowed to use a computer? Like that doesn't make any sense, right? But he is. Right. So right now, he's not allowed to use a VPN. So, and the stories that have been coming out the last month or so about SBF, and we're about 8 months away. Wait, no. When is this trial? October, right? So we're about 8 months away from his trial, which is going to be very interesting, right? This man's allowed to use a computer while he's out on bail. This is crazy. This guy was like literally contacting former FTX employees and stuff like that, like a weirdo, So that's interesting. So a little update to the SBF story. Not much going on. And with that, guys, that's pretty much the news. That's all there is. Let's go scroll through Watch a Guru real quick. See if we got anything going on. But it looks like that's the news. And what I usually do is I go like to Google and the crypto news. And then you see all the crypto news right here. And there's some crypto news, like we saw Doge and Floki and meme coins pump. SEC chair gives a rule of change which crypto from That's kind of new. It says SEC proposal could bar investment advisors from keeping assets. So, okay, so this would be interesting because one of the things we saw come out last year was like Fidelity and investment advisors were like using some of your were helping you like save up for your retirement and those sorts of things with cryptocurrency. So maybe that won't be a thing anymore. FTX transferred 7.7 from Bahamian estate to U.S. units ahead of bankruptcy filing. Damn, that's crazy. So of course, obviously, it's 7.7 billion. God damn. That's crazy. Dude, John Ray's getting like richer off of this. This is crazy. FTX customers sue financiers for giving bankrupt crypto exchange an air of legitimacy. Now, this is the reason why there's no Super Bowl commercial, right? Because a lot of people are suing, anybody for pretty much saying that, FTX was legitimate. But like I said before, like literally, everyone thought it was a layup. So I'll chat with you guys for a little bit, and then I'm gonna dip out, and then we're gonna be going live on Jake's channel for a Volted stream. I'll pop in there for a little bit, but we'll see what's up with that if you guys are into Volt. So how are you guys doing? What's up with you guys? Got 90 people here. Smash that like button. Let's go. Smash that like button. Chris E says, where is Legal Alien? Did he get deported to Mexico? No. So Chris E, he sells cars in Texas. So he's actually killing it. That guy's killing it. But he went back to his old job selling cars. So I'm not sure if he's going to keep streaming on YouTube. I wish he would. But if he's like at a dealership all day slinging cars, like I'm sure like that's the last thing he wants to do. So Chrissy says less government is good, but we see how that ended in 1929 and 2008. 100%. If you guys haven't watched The Big Short, the movie about the housing market bubble that popped in the 2008, you got to watch that because there was a lot of things that were getting swept under the rug. Like it was common practice to have malpractice with some of these people. It's insane. So watch the movie The Big Short. It's insane. It's really good. Spencer says he shouldn't be allowed to have computers, period. Yeah, dude, SBF should not be allowed on computers. It's crazy. It's crazy. But apparently we're supposed to find out who posted $25 million in bail for him. And I have to believe it's like Kevin O'Leary. Brad. Cobra says, imagine SBF walking into prison while Girl, You'll Be a Woman Soon is playing. I think he'll be separated. I think he won't be in Gen Pop. DJ says, yeah, let us eat our own shit, but unfortunately, too many people go crying to the government when they make a bad decision in life. Yeah, well, I feel bad. Here's the thing. Like, DJ, like, we all know that some people are straight degenerates in crypto, and they know what they're getting themselves into. Like, I know when I buy a shitcoin, I could lose my money. Like, I bought, for shits and giggles the other day, I bought a meme coin that was pumping, and it rugged like an hour later. So I'm like, okay, well, this is a reminder not to do dumb shit like this anymore, But a person who wasn't hip to that probably maybe put their last $500 into that, and like now they're freaking out because like it rugged. You know what I mean? And it's like then they want to blame somebody else. But a lot of people aren't really hip to the scams and stuff in crypto, and they understand that most products are shit and here to make money. What's up, Justin Man? How you doing? Joan Karu says credit score went up 66. Lou trying to pre-approval. Let's go, Joan Karu. I finally surpassed the 750 mark. It took me a while. Like, I don't know. But if you guys have followed my channel, you guys know that I wrecked my credit in my 20s. Oh, early 20s. Takes forever to get that. Don't wreck your credit, man. It takes forever, but it was all worth it. It was crazy because I was hanging out with a friend Saturday night that I met right when I really started to repair my credit. We used to work at a job where we worked overnight shifts. I worked at a mental health hospital for a year. And I worked the overnight shift, which let me tell you, the knock shift, the 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. shift is no joke. That shit is overnights are just not good for your body. Like your body is not meant to stay up that late. It is not. It is not meant to work in the nighttime and exist in the daytime. It is not. But it was interesting seeing him because it reminded me of like where I started and where I'm at now, and it just makes me feel good. Yeah, The Big Short is a good movie. Good movie. SBF was trying to watch the point. They're probably all up in his search history, bro. The Big Short and Margin Call. But here's the thing. It's like he can't just use his mom's computer. Like, dude, he's getting away with shit, dude. Obviously, he's getting involved in shit. Maybe Well says Elon Musk bailed out SBF. Nah, I doubt it because the funny thing is that SBF offered Elon Musk $1 billion when he was, acquiring Twitter, and Elon Musk was like, "How'd you get that money?" Too big to. It's two movies, The Big Short and Too Big to Fail. Really? Brad says Rodney, life would be boring if we didn't do dumb shit like that. 100%. Christy says Elon ain't bailing SBF out. He needs to pay off his Twitter debt first. Yeah, 100%. Right. Twitter is not making money. It hasn't been profitable, right? He bought it when it wasn't profitable. DJ says people will take 100x on a shitcoin, but cry when 100%, 100%. Steven works 10 p.m. to 6. That's crazy, bro. That's nuts. That's. Ugh. Spencer says my credit is below 500 because Discover, they pissed me off and I refuse to pay them. No, you got to pay them. Hey, man. So here's the thing. When you have things go to collections, this is what you should try to do first. If it's not your debt, and sometimes what happens when things go to collections is that whoever you owe money to sells your debt because you're probably not going to pay them because they've tried to get money from you, sells your debt to a third-party debt collecting agency for pennies on the dollar. But that debt collecting agency is trying to get the full amount from you usually, right? And they will say, we need the full amount. Sometimes they have to get the full amount, right? I know for leases and stuff like that, like usually they want the full amount. But like credit cards and stuff like that, you can say that debt doesn't belong to me, and it's on them to prove that it does belong to you, right? So if they can't prove it, they have to take it off your credit report. Keep that in mind. If they cannot prove that debt belongs to you, maybe something got lost in translation, maybe they didn't get the proper paperwork. Try that first, right? Say it doesn't belong to me. Okay, if that doesn't work, then try to negotiate something. Try to pay a quarter of what it's worth. Try to pay half of what it's worth because usually people don't pay those, right? And you calling to make some sort of payment or set up some sort of payment is going to help you out anyways. So if you have things in collections, pay them. Missing payments destroys your credit. Don't miss payments. In order to have a green category in your payment history, you have to have 100% payment history. 100% payment history. That's a lot. That's 10 for 10, right? It's 100 for 100. If you even have 99 out of 100, it still tanks that category a little bit, right? Obviously, more than one payment miss is bad. So collections are easy. It's the missed payments are hard because here's the thing. It takes 7 years to fall off your credit report, right? If you miss one payment, you have to saturate the shit out of that in order to get that to at least a 99, right? So, 90% is 9 payments out of 10. Great. That's not a good category though, right? Technically, out of 100 payments, that's 10 missed payments, right? Now, it's 90%. But if you do 100 on-time payments, then you have that category back to 99%, which isn't perfect, but there it is. So you got to make sure you handle those, right? Brad says, I've been working on my credit for like 6 years and it's still crap. Thanks, you ex-wife and divorce. Yeah, man. If you guys don't know, I have a dating and relationship channel. Come watch that. We go live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Hopefully you can avoid getting into some shit. Where's Hex in the bubble? Hex is right here. Hex is right here. Incoming. What do you mean, Javi? Yeah. My wife is an accountant and everything is in her name. Yeah, when you're married, unfortunately, your debt becomes the other person's debt. But I don't think it affects your personal credit score unless you co-sign on things, right? Like your debt becomes their debt, but I don't know how that works. I actually don't know how it works. Exactly, DJ. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to get out of collections account off your record. Chrissy says, I owed Chase $132. I got it charged off as bad debt because I ain't paying for it. Still, my credit score was 689. Now it's 732. Yeah. So one collections account, a charge off, Chrissy, is not terrible, right? It's not terrible. But you still want to try to get that cleared off your, and it'll smash that thing up 100%. It'll send it. Yeah, you don't want to acknowledge that it's your debt. And you can tell them to stop calling. If you have a debtor calling you and it's annoying, just say, stop calling me. Stop calling this number. I'm not allowing you to call this number anymore. You know? But if you want, sometimes it's better just to work with them, right? You know, just pay it. It's not a big deal. Or just say it's not yours. Fight that. Say, hey, this is not mine. You know, or write a letter. So what I did is I went on Experian, TransUnion, Equifax, and I just disputed the collection account on all three ones. And if they don't respond in a month, they have a month to respond. It gets cleared off your reports, right? I did that with a bunch of hospital bills that I had when I had to go to the emergency room when I was like 18 or some shit, and I had a bunch of hospital bills. I just said they weren't mine, and they cleared them. They are mine. Here's off my report. For some reason, it was only on my Equifax report, though. So remember, it's really hard to get your true score on like Credit Karma and these websites. I think the best one is Experian in my experience. Experian gives you like your truest credit score, right? You only really know when you apply for something. Like the last time I had a true credit score check was when I got my Chase credit card, which is like a year and some change ago. Or maybe just about a year now. So I did not Twitch. I don't get any veterans benefits, so stop calling me. All right, guys. I'm going to take off, guys. I'm going to be going live with Jake here soon in probably about 20 to 30 minutes. I'll be popping in on his channel. So come hang out with me over there. But I appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Guys, 6:30 p.m. I'll have my dating and relationships channel. It's just called Rodney. It's on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. Check it out there. I don't want to advertise it here. So my score right now is, I will show you guys. Probably my credit card bill was a little high. Oh, it didn't. No, actually, no, it wasn't. So my statement didn't go through, but I think that it's reporting a lot. So it's like it's 747 right now. I'll show you guys. Right. 747. And my only category that's bad, if you look at my categories, let me see. So my only categories that are, let me try to focus this shit. Can I focus this? Oh, there it is. So my payment history is 100%. My credit card use is 1%. I missed a little bit on my credit card statement. I have no derogatory marks. So my only bad one was my my credit age, which means I haven't had a credit for a long time. And then I have a lot of accounts, as you see, 28. So the reason why I have 28 accounts is because what I did is in order to get my credit card payment up to 99%, I took out a ton of credit cards, but I trusted myself. And I just made small payments on all of them. Like I took out secured ones, anything I could get, right? Which gave me a lot of hard inquiries, but hard inquiries go away after 2 years. So that's not a big deal. But total accounts really makes your score good. So it helped me get a lot of accounts. And I know, right? And right. And well, anything over 750 is good. Anything over 750, you have it's like prime, right? So it's down a little bit right now. But once my age of credit goes up, I'm going to pump probably close to like 800, right? Because it's still a yellow category right now because I just haven't had credit for long enough, or my oldest account isn't long enough, right? And then that one hard inquiry is from the Tesla that I just got. So it's my credit. Yeah. That's 747. So let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Okay, let me unfuck this. I got to unfuck this. Thank you, sis. All right, guys. I'm going to be going live with Jake here soon. Go to pop over to Jake's channel, guys. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me today. And I will see you later. Peace. I know, DJ. That's the white side of me, DJ, you know?